for you to give us a little bit of background on your illustrious career into the payment world.
Thank you, Priscilla, for having me here today. I enjoy this moment, as you cannot imagine. But first, I would like to take the term illustrious better as a respected career. 40 years in the payment world. I was in many organizations, but I would say respected because not in many organizations this function is respected. In my case, it was always respected. Let me tell you about my background. I came to the job market after being in a French school in Colombia, and then followed by 9 years of Jesuit formation. I was going to be a priest in Colombia, and I left.
Oh, wow.
I left a year before being ordained, and then came to the United States to do master's, PhD in people management, intercultural organization and communications. And then when I finished my doctoral degree, I was working at the University of Minnesota, and I was hired by Citibank in Brazil, your country. That was my first job back in 1982. And in Citibank, I had a British boss, the head of human resources. I was the second in command. And I learned from him that if the function should report to the president of the company or to the leader of the organization. Not only means that is the most important priority for any company, their talent, side by side with their business. So if that's not the case, I wouldn't accept a job in any other organization. And I learned that. And in all my career, I was reporting to the president, because with the president, we could make a team to make changes for the good of the company, together with the good of the people. After being in Brazil for almost 10 years, then I moved to Colombia. And I was a consultant in Colombia for a couple of years. And then I moved to Miami, where I live now, as head of Visa Latin America for human resources, then worked briefly with Brightstar. Then I spent 7 years in Western Union, Latin America and Caribbean region. And that's where I really learned from this payment industry. Then after that, I finalized my career. The last 8 years, I called in a company called Ilumno, in the promotion and execution of virtual higher education through Latin America, through 20 universities or so in 10 countries. So that was an exciting career. I'm doing consulting now in virtual higher education, telework, strategic human resources, and I'm based here in Miami. That's my career in a nutshell.
Very impressive, Dario. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm looking forward to learn so much from you, and also being the second in command and being able to make decisions in your first job, that is really life-changing, and that can be an inspiration for all of us and young executives and young leaders, really transforming the way we do business moving forward. So I want to talk a little bit about you and Hugo. So you met our CEO, Hugo Cuevas Moore, back in the 90s, where you consulted for a company, Titan, where Hugo was the business development executive. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that was quite a few years ago. Those were 3 years between my life in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and my moving to Miami. It was between 1988 and 1991. Titan, then one of the top players in the industry in Colombia, was starting to create a network of both senders and receivers for this industry across the globe. And their board of owners, they hired me as a consultant. I was then in Brazil to develop a strategic plan to make that transformation, and also a transformation from a family-owned company to a global and corporately organized institution. The owners would become board members, and we would incorporate top professionals from the market in marketing, in finance, in administration, technology. That was an incredible decision they had. Then I moved from Brazil to Colombia, And I became kind of the facilitator between board and the family and the executives that were managing this difficult transition. Hugo was the only family member, he was son of one of the owners, who was selected by the recruiting panel to be able to participate in the new executive team. And so he became responsible for business development and the marketing of the new organization. It was quite a ride. There were great transformations that happened in this couple of years. I thought that I discovered Hugo as a tremendous people manager. And without any question, he was the heart and the pulse of the entire organization.
Wow. And now, more than 20 years later, you're instrumental in the transformation of Hugo's IMTC and Moral Consulting. Tell us a little bit about your participation in this transformation.
Well, with Hugo, of course, we kept being together, our families. We were neighbors in Miami for almost 20 years. So we maintained very frequent conversations about our different careers, the common friends in the industry. He was already with some of the meetings that they called IMTC at that time meetings. I participated in some of them as a guest, talking, from Western Union in talent issues. And then I could see how his organization kept attracting the best people in the industry, the partners, the sponsors, the colleagues, the presenters, the consultants. So when the pandemic started to threaten the basic purpose of this network and presentiality needed to be replaced by virtuality, we had long conversations with Hugo on the importance to rethink the value of this extraordinary human and I would say organizational capital. A lot of companies all over the world networking for the benefit and advancement of the industry. And I could see clearly how Hugo and his team were visionary, and they had a visionary attitude, shifting towards a new way of communicating and interacting and learning from each other. And they were adapting rapidly to the new circumstances and the needs of everyone. What I see today, still, probably in the last months of the crude pandemic, is the result of what I would call a rapid and visionary and futuristic approach to hybrid networking, communicating, negotiating, growing for many types of business and new players. I believe this is the beginning of this kind of worldwide transformation in every type of business. The pandemic, in my opinion, showed the differences that we and our children will have to adjust in the future. It brought great benefits such as artificial intelligence, robotics, environmental protection. There's a new financial order, and we are kind of more conscious about the inequalities in the world. I think these are the challenges that most companies need to consider in their business plan if they want to survive, of course. I will keep my commitment to Hugo and this company because I want to assist with my experience, my vision, my limited resources, particularly through the board where the decisions are made. Whenever Hugo and the board needs me, I am a beneficiary of this industry. I live the experience of an immigrant in this country for the last 50 years. And I understand there will be many more that will live similar experiences as this planet becomes closer and closer to each other. Definitely, I believe so.
And I believe, I agree with you, Dario, immigration, online, hybrid, learning how to work together virtually without being able to cross borders has really made us work together as a community. And that is brilliant, and there is no price for that. So I echo your comment, and we're looking forward in the next few years to be able to link that with the future of IMTC and Moral Consulting. So my last question is, as you know, Dario, I am Brazilian, and our next event will be in São Paulo. So what can you say to our members watching us about payments in Brazil?
Well, you mentioned Brazil, and I lived 10 years in Brazil. Half of my heart is Brazilian. I was a flamenguista, I was carioca. I hope I don't offend the Paulistas or anything, but I believe in the incredible potential of Brazil. I am one of the people that always cheer for Brazil, not only in soccer, but in the future of the payment industry. Brazil has an incredible creativity. The Brazilians, in my opinion, are ahead of many people in the world, and payments industry reflect the lives of immigrants all over the world, make things easy, and the Brazilians are easygoing. And making things easy is creating new companies, is being in the forehead of the industry, and the business of the Platinum Network is just that, making people together, getting them to work together, to collaborate to each other, to learn from each other, and to adjust to this world. I am thrilled to have this meeting in Brazil, and I hope many people take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Dario. What an honor. And we finalize our interview now. And it's a pleasure always sitting next to you and being able to interview you. And I'm looking forward for us to continue doing this series and be able to connect executives around the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this time. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you and to the board and to the people. As you know, I'm always ready. Thank you very much, Priscilla.
Thank you, Dario. It's my pleasure.